you about to text your ex? Knock it off. They didn't deserve you then. They don't deserve you now.
Look, if you're sitting there wanting to text your ex, please remember that it probably only is going to put you in this cycle of wanting to text them, texting them, being hopeful that you're going to get a good reply, then being disappointed that you didn't get the reply that you wanted, then you feel bad, and then you think of texting them again. And this keeps going until you break that cycle. And that cycle is way more painful than just pushing through the discomfort of missing them right now. I know it sucks, but stay strong.
A year prior, I figured out that my first love was just involving me for dates and gifts. Honorable men, I entirely obstructed her on each type of web-based entertainment and contact available anywhere. While I 100% realized that she was essentially utilizing me and a dreadful individual, about once every month, I get the desire to reach out to her. I really do know enough to not carry on those desires. I can't track down any kind of objective justification behind them. Is there some kind of justification behind why I actually get the desire to contact a lady that experiences caused me such horrible difficulty? In any event, realizing that doing so will really cause me considerably more. Is this some kind of sense-type feeling or something else? Is this a typical sensation of some kind, or am I unusual for having them? I truly can't really think of a judicious justification for this desire to reach her. I got this guidance about it. The desire to connect with your ex and see what she's doing is entirely fine and ordinary. I actually look into my ex every once in a while to see what they're doing utilizing virtual entertainment. I suspect ladies do likewise to us men by keeping an eye on our profile. They watch out via online entertainment to check whether we've really been effective, or on the other hand, in the event that we bombed throughout everyday life. For my situation, I'm basically off of virtual entertainment, so there truly isn't a way that my entrance might be able to see what I'm doing. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily help since a portion of our lifelong companions are still basically my companions on Facebook. If they truly had any desire to sneak around and tail me, they could simply converse with their companions and inspire them to keep an eye on me, all things being equal, and afterward report back. My supposed love of my life almost passed on in Spain as of late from a fear-based oppressor assault. A couple of hours distinction, and I would have been catching wind of her on the news. I found out about that by looking at her online entertainment accounts, yet I really wouldn't get in touch with her. She was annoyed at me when I cut off the relationship since she thought being one of those deep-rooted kind of things was going. It was only after she continually told me no to any life heading or decision that I needed to make for the two of us, or basically snickered in front of me. Do I get hazy and want to reach her now and again? Certainly, yet as of now, I never again share anything practically speaking with her by any stretch of the imagination. I additionally know every one of the games that she played on me for a long time, very much like you presumably see every one of the games that your ex played on you for a long time. I'm likewise certain that the vast majority of you are still emotionally harmed, even after a year. Hence, you actually contemplate her and second conjecture your choice to head out in a different direction. This is likewise completely typical. Needing to reach her doesn't really need to be reasonable. Yet all things considered, it's frequently close to home. You're actually associated with that lady.
I meant slut.
Hey,
some of you
that's
will,
our sister.
in any case, be associated with her until the end of your life. A man's memory never blurs concerning success in the room. I found that some little piece of me generally laments cutting off a friendship in any event when it's a terrible relationship. It's like I never needed to let it go, yet this is the means by which I manage it. I recollect the beneficial things, and the awful frequently will quite often blur away from plain sight. The main solution for this is time. I found that as you age, if you have a terrible memory, the further in the back view these kinds of encounters are, the less they influence you. On the off chance that you're in your late adolescence and early 20s and don't have experience managing anguish, then your memory and want to reach her will be biting away at you. Ensure that you disregard those sentiments, since it will go back and forth occasionally. Once more, it doesn't help. It's entirely common to feel the way that you do. Recollect that people have commonly lived in little networks of somewhere around a few hundred individuals previously. Marriage was for life some time ago, particularly for the majority of the moderately present-day human. Simply ponder how you help the emotional glancing through an old-school school yearbook. You're connected sincerely to individuals you haven't seen for a long time and can't help thinking about how their lives have ended up. You're interested about how life would have been unique, assuming that you really kept in contact with your secondary school companions. Is there any valid reason why you wouldn't feel torn needing to stay in contact with somebody you really imparted a vet to? Allow me to give you an extraordinary model. Perhaps of the most abnormal gathering I at any point had with an ex was around quite a while back when I nodded off one evening, and I was longing for meeting her and seeing that young lady that I dated back in secondary school. I awakened the following day and I saw her out in the open and ran into her unintentionally. One more of those insane precognitive encounters. You can't underrate the force of profound energy. A specific young lady I was with, thinking back to the 11th grade, let me know one day that she was too occupied to even consider getting together. I later saw her at the shopping center with one of my companions, so I promptly quit conversing with her, since she was essentially an extremely terrible fibber. That was essentially the last time both of us really talked. We additionally didn't address each other when we saw each other, all the more as of late, around a long time back. We just recognized each other with a look and headed out in a different direction. We likely encountered some uneasiness. With my other ex, I wasn't as lucky. I found that most exes couldn't care less on the off chance that you're seeing another person or not when they reach out to you. In the event that they need a monkey branch back from you, they have no issue destroying the relationship you're now in. At the point when two of my exes called me in my 20s and requested to reunite, I barely cared about it. After around 2 years, both addressed me to acquire my consideration and show how forsaken she was. One of them even got my arm and put it all over herself. Both of them really felt sort of abnormal and void. I think they couldn't find a person that was better. They had a go at swinging back to me, since I was the one that unloaded them. For the ignorant men out there, when you dump a lady, it frequently flags that you have higher status, so they could really choose to return to you eventually. I don't have a clue about the conditions encompassing your separation. Was it after her birthday or Christmas, since I realized that numerous ladies love to separate just after present giving season? You can be with a person for months to a year, and you never truly understand what she's inclined to. It generally is, by all accounts, like a secret. In all actuality, she's not feeling for men what men feel for ladies. You will constantly have to speak with her if you have kids with her to serve the children. You basically consistently have availability. The best strategy is to remove all contact with your previous accomplices basically. Try not to feel constrained or compelled to chat with them. There is without a doubt still a critical part of you that needs to stay with them.